Good afternoon, everyone. The rising cost of higher education has become a real problem for students across the nation. Lately, this dilemma has changed in unprecedented ways. Now, low-income students and middle-income students are struggling to pay for their education. Middle-income students are falling into what's known as the middle-class trap, an economic situation where their family makes too much to qualify for financial aid, but not enough to pay for their college education. A college degree has become a prerequisite in order to get a job in a competitive job market. My teammates and I, we all come from backgrounds where it's a little bit more difficult for us to get a college degree because some of the struggles we have faced. Some of us come from single-parent households. Our parents don't speak English. We're first-generation students. My own parents are immigrants to this country. They don't know anything about college. We created this nonprofit organization in order to help students. We created this organization because we wanted to help students like us. We are the epitome of students that need college preparatory programs.
As we researched about tuition costs in different ways in helping lowering them, we came across a couple of interesting statistics, such as that 93% of middle school students report that they aim to attend college, but only 44% of those enroll in college, and only 26 of those 44% actually graduate with a college diploma within 6 years of enrolling. From this, we concluded that as they are getting further into their high school and college careers, most students don't have the same opportunities as others, therefore increasing their financial costs. Another interesting statistics we found was that 1/4 of all high school seniors believe that they lack the skills and knowledge needed to get them through the first years of college without repeating any classes. And from this, we understand that since students don't feel as though they need to repeat classes, their financial costs will increase, and therefore they will not finish college as soon as possible.
CPR is an acronym that stands for College Preparedness and Readiness. It is a nonprofit organization that focuses on middle school students all the way up through college. We provide comprehensive systems in a threefold program. The reason that we chose and made the design of the hands holding the heart was because of the fact that it saves lives. If there was a program as elaborate and as effective as ours, it would better prepare students for a college.
So what exactly is CPR? Well, the main strategy of CPR lies on three foundations: the parents, the teachers, and most importantly, the students. So for high school students, we have three main programs again: counseling, advising, and speakers. Counseling, we're mostly focused on tutoring and focus groups, and these are mostly an academic endeavor, which will tie in with our advising, in which case we will encourage students to take AP and college credit courses so that they can go into college with needing to take less classes and saving them tuition. Lastly, or thirdly, for speakers, we're going to invite inspiring people to come talk to these students so that they can be motivated and also learn real life skills that you cannot be learned typically in normal classrooms. And we're also going to have a program for, wow, I'm sorry. That's what happens. Well, if you go to the next slide, please, as you can see, those students. This is mostly going to be a more fun and game-based program which tie in to really teach these students good habits, as well as to get them on a strong start to high school and college. And that's for parents.
As Daniel said, parents are a very essential part for the college education. Unfortunately, some parents are not educationally prepared to help a college student. I personally come from a family where I will be the first person to ever go to college, so I know the need for information. CPR will be an organization that will provide help for universities and colleges to attract family members into the college experience. Through this, we will help parents attend meetings where we will explain the importance of saving up money and applying for scholarships. This would all add up at the end, and it will reduce the cost for a college education.
An important concern for CPR is to properly educate and prepare teachers on how to teach college credit courses. To do this, we will have experienced teachers educating the less experienced teachers on how to give their AP and dual credit classes properly. Just like students, teachers will need forms of encouragement to make sure that they are educating their students properly. Teachers who perform their job correctly will be recognized monthly, not only in their schools, but in their school districts. On the other hand, if a teacher is underperforming, a higher school district authority will meet with them to try to encourage them to improve. The teachers will then begin to be monitored on a monthly basis to make sure that the grade results of their students have improved from the month before. Underperforming teachers will remain in this probation for a 2-month period to ensure grade improvement.
As we establish our programs, we'll utilize a tier program that basically starts basic and advances as the students do. And so we'll have a prototype program where we would start in a diverse area where there's different ethnicities and income and mental capability, and we'll put the program there to where we can see how it works for different demographics. And we'll start in a 7th grade and 9th grade 7th grade and 9th grade classroom or area, to where as the students progress, so does the curriculum. So 7th graders, it would be basic, educating them on the concept of college. Whereas when they're in 9th grade, they're establishing their writing skills, and as they progress into their high school career, it'll progress into how to apply for scholarships and financial aid.
Okay, so as for the marketing component of this, since we are barely a group that's going to be starting out, the main purpose is to keep the cost relatively inexpensive while having the most effectiveness. So, like, the strategies we're going to implement is mainly using, like, assemblies in the schools we are targeting, and also establishing a really strong platform in social media with the hope that the students that we are servicing will be able to, spread the word of mouth about how engaging and outstanding our program is. And also, we really want to engage our sponsors with our marketing. So as an incentive for them helping us establish this, we are going to promote them while they are giving us their resources.
Financially, the budget for our program is estimated to be $500,000 per year. This capital will provide transportation to students and staff, equipment, and operation costs. Monetary funding will be provided by charity donors and sponsors that believe in our cause to help students. Our vision for the future is to grow into a sustainable statewide program that will provide effective and resourceful opportunities not only to students, but also teachers and parents.
You may be asking yourselves, why CPR? Well, it's because we're going to help kids reduce the amount that they spend on their college and their higher education. But we really need help in providing resources and classes that are needed to get them to where they really need to be. We are targeting the generation that will eventually fill your shoes. They will lead your grandchildren, and we all want better opportunities for them and for the generations to come after. We really need your help in lighting the way for them, so we ask that you support and donate to CPR. Thank you, and I believe we are now open for questioning.
Questions from the audience? Yes, Can you explain how, I know you're providing a lot of resources for these students, but how does it lower the cost of their education?
Well, mainly tying in, we were looking at why the tuition cost was so high for students, and talking to the panel of experts and whatnot, and they told us that a major reason why is because students take too many classes, or they take classes that they could have gotten credit for in high school, or they go overtime, as in, like, it's a 4-year program, but they take 5 or 6 years, which dramatically raises the cost of tuition, and just the fact that the college retention rate is extremely low throughout some parts of Texas. Like, for example, we saw that the completion rate for UT is 81% for a 6-year, in 6 years for a 4-year program. And that, I feel, is not acceptable. And so by preparing students more for college, by encouraging them to take college credit courses while in high school, we believe that we will reduce the students' cost of tuition. And by focusing on the parts, we will eventually affect the whole.
Can you take me through the criteria that you would use to decide which teachers get to become mentors and coaches for the other teachers?
Well, I believe that we would definitely look at their track record, since there are definitely programs existing out there that help track teachers' performance at school. And while I know that they're not available everywhere, I feel that they're substantial enough that we can still rely on them. And using those programs, I believe that we can identify which teachers are truly exceptional, which teachers can stand out, which teachers can do their job. Yeah.
Is CPR open to any student who wants to join, or is there certain requisites that they need, or how do we get to?
Well, we were focusing on everyone because most of the programs only focus on low-income students. And when talking, we discovered that people might have money, so they have the money to pay for college, but that does not mean that they're prepared for college. And most of them have parents that don't care, or maybe they won't have the support of their parents. So not because you only have money means that you have the preparedness and readiness to go to college. So it's open for everyone.
So who are your competitors and how will you handle competition?
We felt that we didn't necessarily have competitors in this because our overall goal is to lower tuition and prepare our future generations for college. And so any programs that are providing their resources to the students is a good thing. So there really is no true competitors in this.
I don't understand how you would be lowering tuition. I understand that you'd have these students, I guess, finish college earlier because they would be taking more dual classes and earning college credit during their high school years. But that doesn't lower the tuition, that lowers the time they're going to spend in college.
Well, for each additional year that a student spends in college, they have to pay for that year of tuition and classes and whatnot. And by the very nature of having college credit going into college, they're saving cash just by the fact they don't have to spend that type of money while in college to take those classes that they've already have credit for. So essentially, if I got a 5 on the calculus AP and placed out of needing to take calculus at UT, and that's cash right there that I save from books and tuition that will help reduce my cost of tuition. And our program is a program that's focused on each student. And we believe that by focusing on the parts, as in the students, that will eventually impact the whole problem of rising tuitions.
And real quick, adding on what Daniel said, we were informed that 10% of the funding for schools is based on completion rates, and that some people, they're really advocating increasing that. So through our program, since we are really pushing forward the whole college readiness and being able to graduate more effectively, I think if they were to really implement this, then it really would affect the whole thing in general.
To add on what they were saying, we believe that we should focus on the individual instead of the colleges as a whole, because we realize that it's really, really hard to get colleges to lower their tuition. They're not really going to budge. So we decided that focusing on the individual instead of the whole would be more effective.
I wonder if this is such a widespread problem, completion rates and time to completion, whether those students who are having the most difficulty at the college level would be served by being put in college level courses while still in high school. Whether they'd be able to, whether that would just put them sort of in a situation. I mean, why do you think that makes them more prepared for college?
One thing that Daniel talked about was that our program does provide tutoring, and so they're learning the skills that it takes to study and to get the concept and how to master it. In which case, if they master these skills and these habits in high school, they'll further help them in college and to where it's just second nature.
Yes, you mentioned in your presentation that there was an inexpensive cost towards the program. And what about those low socioeconomic families that want to participate but don't have enough money to get that program because they have other concerns such as food, living, and other things like that? And also, how are you going to raise that much amount of money, and what's your time frame on that?
Actually, there is no cost for our program. Our program is free. The cost that we mentioned in the slideshow was for marketing. And as you mentioned for the second question, was we're going to get sponsorships. We're going to talk to alumni associations that would be interested, and also we'd apply for government funding and other outside money.